Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into hour number 2 of today's episode of Nebula Jazz. Good timing. Welcome back. Hi.
Hi. Sorry.
So we've left the ship behind. I want to just clarify what the plan was with Thuja, because we didn't narrate her leaving the ship. But did she come with you, or did you leave her on the ship?
She came with.
Okay, so she's with you. All right. So I think that we see a scene. We see a beach scene, and there are little umbrellas stuck into the sand. There are blankets and towels and like picnic baskets, and there's the soft kind of wash of the sea, and there's sentience of all species enjoying themselves in the sun. We see like a little family of creatures sitting around enjoying their beachfront vacation, and then we pan over to the beautiful water, and someone screams shark and like runs up out of the water. And people start to like flee, and it's shot for shot, like from Jaws, people running and like chaos, and we see head first, as though just walking up along the bottom of the ocean, we see Rex slowly emerge from the water, jerry can in hand, glistening with seawater in the light of the sun. Mm-hmm. Rex, there's just people running in terror,
and he seems to be like a bit buffer than usual, like the water's kind of like invigorated him.
It's invigorating me too. We see him emerge from the water, holding this can, and then behind him, everybody gets their like Baywatch intro. So Thuja emerges from the water and like shakes her hair and drops a water fly in the sun. And even though she's like scary leather princess, she gets her moment. And then Quinn, I guess you're probably next up out of the water. What does your emergence onto the beach look like? Are you
sort of rather than come out all majestic, he splops out of the water and starts like spitting water, and his seaweed is just everywhere, and he's just a mess. And he's like he's just like checking his pants to make sure he didn't lose anything. And he's not a fan of the ocean.
Yeah. I think we get the take of you like pulling some kind of like sea creature like out of your loincloth and throwing it on the beach.
A crab, sea crab.
Yeah, totally. And then Aurora and Sparky. Yeah, Sparky comes bounding out of the water, splashing around, and he does that thing where even though he doesn't have fur, he like shakes. And I think that when he does that, all of his external plates kind of like open up, and he vents steam, and all the water like evaporates off of him. Yeah, he like shakes his body, and then he looks back at the water, and Aurora, you come up out of the wash.
See Aurora like emerge out of the water, and she's just glistening water all down her, and it's just so beautiful. She's walking really slow-mo. Of course, it's got like the chest bob, because she has some, even if she doesn't show them off all the time. And then like it's so majestic, and then all of a sudden you can see like this look of like panic, and she just like lunges forward as Sparky jumps on her. He's so excited that he behind her and just pounces her, and starts like licking the back of her head and whatnot. And then she just like emerges, and it's just wet hair just dripping down her face.
Yeah, covered in sand. Yeah. All right, so the beach is basically cleared. People have run in panic.
Rex unscrews the cap of the jerry can and just kind of like holds it upside down out in front of him.
I'm just kidding. I don't need to breathe.
So yeah, you get dumped out into the sand, and immediately
that's gonna be in my shit for days.
Yes, immediately just like starts getting into you, and
it's kind of like those all of those different channels that make videos of like slime, and they'll pour glitter all over the slime and slowly like work the glitter into the slime. It's like that, but gross.
Yeah.
There's just like all of this sand that's slowly getting integrated, and where it integrates, it just looks kind of brown and gross. And it's just like, ugh.
Yep. So you're on the beach, and you're looking up, and there's a beachfront highway kind of up above you. There's some stairs that lead up onto this little like highway that runs along the beach. You can see several hover sports cars like parked along that way. Some people getting into them, and some traffic up there. And then above it, set into the sort of jungle hillside behind, you see several spires, like white buildings that make up one of the big casinos, probably the big one on this island, this big casino resort. And I think that, Eugene, it seems vaguely familiar to you, but once you've seen one of these places, you've seen them all. So you're kind of like, maybe for a minute, think that you recognize it, but can't place it necessarily. You've probably been here, but you've been a lot of places. So, So what are you gonna do? What's the plan?
I'm gonna follow the others.
Oof, I don't know about that. I mean,
lead on. You've been here before. I'd like to learn more.
After the seasoned veteran. Lead the way.
Oh, come on, guys. Like, we don't need to all know what we're into, right? Like, this would be the perfect time for us to, split up, find out what we like, come back, and never speak of it, right? We don't need to do any of that.
You need some alone time.
You got something in your...
Yeah, I would like some alone time. Yes.
All right.
Thing right there. And you see Aurora reach down and, like, pick something off of Eugene's gill. Back.
Oof.
And I just, like, drop it on the sand. It's, like, all dirty. And I'm like, you really got to be careful. You're just going to pick up everything.
Welcome to my life. Maybe I'll pick up a hot babe. Am I right?
Wait, what's up? Okay, maybe. I guess.
So let me get this straight. You brought us to this monstrosity of a place, claiming to show us a good time, and now you want to leave and go do your own thing. Is that right?
I just need like an hour by myself. That's it. Just like, and then we can all reconvene, have a nice lunch or whatever, and then see where we're at, right? It's not like we have anything specific to do here. We're just trying to like kill time until we can get back on something out there that's definitely not there, and get out of here again, right?
All right, you do you, little buddy. Rex turns to Mayhem because Mayhem's obviously been here before, and he's like, "Guess you're leading the way."
She sneers. And then looks sidelong at Eugene and says, "Yeah, great friends you've made, Rex."
Thank you.
I could say the same about my ex.
She starts to stalk angrily across the beach towards the stairs.
Cool. I think Rex just follows, and then like kind of leaves it open for like Quinn and Aurora to decide who they're going with.
You see me look at Quinn, and I'm like, well, should we go do our own thing, or like, I'm like, are they gonna go attack each other again in private? I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you coming or what?
Oh, if you want, I didn't know you wanted me to watch. Last time you closed the door, so I just didn't know if you wanted me to watch this time,
Rex
Quinn
just turns. Go on, Jessica, go on.
Oh, no.
I got nothing. I got nothing at that.
I was going to say Quinn just kicks the sand and is like, should have stayed on the ship.
All right, so
we start to hurry behind Rex in the sand.
Yeah, so where are you going, Eugene? You're gonna split off from the group? You got your own slime business to take care of?
Oh yeah, I got a place.
Okay.
I got a place that I want to keep all to myself.
So
called,
let's cut to there. So we get the fade as everyone sort of separates out. And where do we see Eugene? Where are you when we come back to you?
So I think like you see Eugene, he starts off in the sort of normal area where it's just people enjoying the beach, doing whatever, and then it starts to get a little weirder, some back alleys, lots of different colored lights, all meaning different kinds of things. And then he pops out onto the other side in front of a place that he would like to call La Ten Dewey. Not everybody would pronounce it that way, but he's positive that's how it's pronounced. And
Okay.
This is a place that specializes in slime spa treatment. So
Nice.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get a stretch. They know just how to stretch you out. Like you get to the stretch point right before you're going to split, and then they let it all relax back in. Oh God, feels amazing. Clean all this sand out of me. Oof, did not know that was going to need to happen, but thank God.
So yeah, this place it resembles less a building and more like a sewage treatment plant. You're sluiced through the front gate. Not there's no door. This is a place for slimes, by slimes. Yeah. And so you're slurped up into this facility, and you spend the next little while being run through several sieves to clear your impurities. You get the full blender treatment.
What was that song that always used to play on like the Looney Tunes, like Acme, like bum 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 bum? I just imagine you going through like a machine system,
like a conveyor belt. Yeah. They like pummel her a little bit for massages and stretch.
Right. Yeah, you're put through a taffy pulling machine. We probably see it's like one of those old like the like Chinese chefs that make the noodles, just like stretching you and like you get thrown around like a pizza.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's like.
It's literally not a spa. It's just a factory.
Yeah. They run you through the system once, and you're like, woo.
Yeah. To anybody else walking through this area, it just looks like the industrial district, where just like nothing happens. But we know the truth. We know what's really going on there.
Out of place thing, but. Yeah, so you're put through the paces, and I think as you're reconstituting yourself in the relaxation valve, it's like an open area with a bunch of like tanks where you can reform and get yourself ready. This is several hours later. A shadow falls over the pool in which you are reclining, and you see several figures. We see them backlit, but you can tell that they're wearing. They're all dressed similarly. They have like sort of square-shouldered suits. They have like ties and like fedoras on, and they're all carrying guns. They have pistols. You can just see them backlit. And they step up. There's a half dozen of them. They step up around your tank, and one of them looks down and says, "You should have never come back here, slime."
I like up until that point, I'm positive that this is just one of those cute slime girls who works at this place who's coming over with another drink. So I'm not worried. And then. When I open my eyes, I'm just surrounded. And I have a panicky moment where I just sit there and then I go, "Oh my gosh, are you the men that I ordered? Goodness gracious, you're all so big."
One of the goons, the goon that was talking to you looks over his shoulder and he's like, "We're not buying it. Wet dry them." And
no.
The other one, he's got a big canister.
You silly goose.
He's got a big canister on his back, and he's got a tube that runs to what you thought maybe was like a gun. Looks kind of like a flamethrower, but he jams the end of it up against you and just starts sucking you up into the like tank on his back.
No.
It's literally just like a big wet dry, like a shop vac, and he's just like slurping you up into the canister.
Shoot. Okay. I don't think I could do it. All right. I get sucked into another dude's tube. Let's do this.
All right. So you get slurped up into the canister. You get Ghostbustered, and and then you get carried away. And I don't think you can see from inside the tube. Or inside the tank, you can feel just like you're being constrained in this like garbage can size thing on the guy's back, and and then you can feel it getting rattled around. You're thrown in the trunk of a vehicle. You can hear the vehicle go, and then it drives off. And I think we just see these three like black hover cars essentially like pull away from the red light, blue light, yellow light, green light district, and drive off to wherever it is that they're taking you. So. Meanwhile, where are you guys going, Quinn, Aurora, and Rex? Thuja has led you up to the front of this big casino. So you're standing. I think actually what happens is you're standing up front. What we see is there's a big sort of piazza, like a big plaza out front with a fountain that's glowing a bunch of different colors. There's a bunch of holograms around of exciting reasons to come into this place. And above it, in big glowing hologram letters, we see that the name of this casino is called the Euphorium. And it's glowing in all these different alien languages that kind of fade in and out. And as you walk up, Aurora, there's a man and a woman. They look more or less human shape. They don't have any hair or eyebrows, and they are sort of proportioned oddly. Like their waist is quite narrow, their knees and their elbows are quite narrow, and you can see they have little like seams, like where their jaw opens and closes. They have a kind of like marionette quality to them. They're both wearing kind of plain looking, like this place, everybody's all flashy. Everybody's wearing their best. You see like someone, a sort of squid creature in an evening gown go by. But these guys they're plain. They're wearing just kind of like ivory, simple like robes or like sackcloth looking like clothing. And they're both holding data pads, and they have little name tags, and they say like, "Hello, my name is," and then just like a series of squiggles. And as you walk by, Aurora, one of them says to you, they're like, "Have you heard the good news?"
And you see me like my eyes open, and I like.
So do you stop?
No, yeah, I stopped because I think they're talking to me, so I stopped.
Yeah,
I looked at them, confused, like what?
Yeah, and as soon as you stop, both of them like turn their full attention to you, and the other one says, "Why, we have the greatest news for you, the news of your salvation." And the other one says, "Yes, have you heard the word of the great machine gods?" And the two of them, when they say that, they kind of like both close their eyes in bliss. The other one says, "This planet is a terrible place, a stain on the galaxy, but it's not too late for you." And she like reaches out and puts her hand on your shoulder, and she says, "You can be saved. We see that you carry the blessing of the machine god upon you, as do we all." And you realize now that, yeah, they seem to be like sentient machines or robots of some kind. They're kind of meant to look, they're like you, but they're not as well designed, right? They don't look as human as you do. And they're just like, they're really excited to talk to you and save your soul before you go into this horrible place.
I like put my hand up on top of their hand, and like I'm feeling around, and then I turn to Rex. I'm like, Rex, they can save us. They literally just said that they could, like, this is it. This is what we need.
And the other one, the one that you were talking to, the other one, he says, yes, there is salvation in the arms, the many arms, the probing arms of the machine gods. Come, friend, and is gesturing to you, Rex, like, come, hear the good news.
They can, like, some god. I've never met a god before. Have you?
Rex is he's a few feet in front. He's like looking forward. He's got his face mask on. He kind of just like slowly, casually turns around. He walks over to the robots and Aurora, and then he kind of like lifts the robot's hand off her shoulder and like puts his arm around Aurora and just guides her away from the robots without saying a word, and just like leads her towards the casino. He doesn't even look back.
I like look back. I don't understand. They said that they could save, and we're
Aurora, I would like to compel you. I
was gonna do it. I'm glad you do it.
I would like to compel you. These people remind you of home. They're speaking of the great unity, the oneness of the universe that only a true machine such as yourself can experience. You feel a pang deep in your programming that draws you to stay and to talk with these people. What they say makes sense. I would love to compel you to be like, no, we gotta stick around and talk about this.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, take it. All right, perfect.
It's easy for her to take it.
Sure. Okay, so what do you do? So Rex is like, "Nuh-uh, come on, honey, we're going."
My shoulder. Now you just see Aurora like slink down and then do a backwards roll and then turn around and just like walk towards them again. Like, okay, tell me more. What's his name? What is this guy's name?
Rex just throws his hands up like he gives up and just keeps walking. He doesn't even look back. He just leaves her out there.
Yeah. So he puts his hand on your shoulder. Actually, he hugs you. He like brings you in close and he gives you this firm hug. And he says,
"You start growling." Actually.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Sparky's like, and I think the other one is trying to distract Sparky. Like, it's like, good boy, there, and like trying to pat him on the head and stuff. And the one that's hugging you says, yes, you too can experience tranquility. And he looks over at the casino and says, this place is a magnet, a terrible magnet that destroys all that go within. Your friends, and like looks over at Rex and Thuja, they are drawn into the darkness by the filthy biological processes of sex and food. And the other one kind of makes a disgusted face and shakes her head as much as she can with her kind of like puppet-looking face. She just shakes her head. She's like, no, ew, gross, biologicals. And she says, you need not these things. And I think she gives you she holds up her data pad and she says, we need only for you to sign up. And she holds it out, and you can see there's like a line, and there's a bunch of signatures on it. And she says, and then you are welcome at our meetings. We hold them every night. We have a church here. And she like gestures down the road. And if you were to come with us, we could show you the true way.
I take the pad and I'm looking at it. There's no names I recognize, right? Obviously.
No.
Okay. Then I look at it. Like, oh, I made a promise. I can't just leave my friends. I mean, they like food, and that's okay.
They lean in conspiratorially, and they say, it can be very hard to give up that which we believe to be good for us. But these friends of yours, with their masticating and their fornicating, they will lead you only into darkness. It's not true. So Quinn, yeah, you wanna walk up?
Quinn takes the data pad and crushes it.
She just reaches out.
Just crushes it and then stares them and says, my God feasts on the flesh of lesser gods and defecates their remains on the soil of many planets.
Oh,
and like leaves it on the ground. Like,
yeah,
dumps the data pad on them.
You don't have to take it out of his hands. You can just crush it in his hands, and it just crumbles.
Oh, with his hand in it, yeah. I just crushed the data pad. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
You see a river go, well, then why can he save us, though? Can he save us?
My God only saves herself. And, like, walks away.
So it's a she. And you see Aurora, like, walk after him. and she, like, waves to the nice little robot people. She's like, okay, bye, maybe later. Maybe call me. And then
so Yeah. So one of them is just staring at his like broken stump arm, and the other shouts after you, and he says, "Go not into temptation, steer clear of food, stay away from the biologicals," and is just like shouting at you as you disappear into the crowd.
You hear just Sparky like growling the whole way he's walking behind me.
So I think we cut over to Rex and Thuja, and the two of you walk through the front door of this casino hotel, and Thuja is looking around like disgusted, and I think she mutters something that you don't quite catch when the two of you walk in.
What'd you say?
She looks around and she's like, "Oh, I was just thinking about how I could kill everyone in this room."
Feel free. Me personally, there's the bar. And then Rex just kind of takes a hard right and just heads for the bar.
You're just going to leave the person? Oh, you alcoholic.
I know she's going to follow me. She doesn't want to be in that room.
Okay. So yeah, she looks around for a minute and then like follows after you.
Boom.
Yeah. So the two of you walk up to the bar. And I think that at the bar there's an android. He's a shiny silver robot man, and he's wearing a tuxedo with a bow tie, and two of his arms are currently like shaking a drink. One of his arms is lighting a cigarette for someone that's sitting nearby, and the other arm is cutting up, or actually is unscrewing a jar of olives. As you approach the bar, there's a big glass wall behind it with a holographic like waterfall coming down over top of all the bottles, and they're glowing, sort of lit from underneath. And the two of you, you first looking pleased to be at the bar, and then Thuja looking less excited, walk up to the bar.
Cool. Rex kind of like strolls up to the bar, and he like catches the eye of the robo tender,
mm-hmm.
and he says, Give me a drink for a daring man in unfavorable company.
And he slides over to you on his little track, and he looks you up and down and says, "An excellent choice, sir." And I think like he grabs a glass with one of his free arms, and then just various like spritzer like tubes come out of his chest and start mixing this drink for you. And the drink is almost finished. It's a bunch of different like liqueurs, and then lastly, he reaches into a vat and pulls out some kind of like squirming like creature. Like it's somewhere between a rat and a piranha, and he pulls it out of this goop, and it's like squirming around. And he picks up a knife and he like stabs it and like bleeds it into the glass, and then throws it on the floor, and then hands you the glass, and he says he says to you. Shall I put it on your tab, sir?
Yes. And then Rex kind of sees Thuja coming up in his peripherals, and then he goes, actually make it 2.
He nods and begins remaking the drink again, and sets another one down in front of Thuja.
Rex kind of turns and he like rests his elbows on the bar so he can see when Quinn and Aurora are going to come in and kind of like grab their attention.
Yeah. So she takes it. And she looks at you and she drinks the whole thing in one go and puts it down, and then like burps a little and then kind of blinks a few times and looks at you and it's like, so this is what we've been reduced to, huh? Drinking at a bar on some shithole planet?
Speak for yourself. It's a nice change of pace.
You've changed, Rex. I remember when it was all about the blood for you. I've seen you do things, Rex. My gods. You used to really be something, and now look at you.
Oh, look at you. Speak for yourself. You're my hostage. We've got your ship, and you're stuck at a bar in a casino. That's not looking too good, is it, for a huntress?
She nods, acknowledging that, yes, it is shitty to hang out with you. You're right.
Yeah. Rex doesn't really get the hint and kind of like waves down Quinn.
Yeah, so Quinn, you see the two of them at the bar. You and Aurora walk up?
Well, I'm following behind Quinn, just sort of like still asking him questions about his god. And like, what's her name? What does she do? I mean, can we meet her? Like, and just babbling on. Meanwhile, I'm assuming Quinn's just ignoring everything.
Oh yeah, totally. No. It's a lizard thing. You aren't welcome.
And I'm just like, then I start like typing away, trying to find this god, because I've just now like, I've never met a god. Like, it's like this exciting that we're on an island where there's just tons of sex and drinking, and I'm like looking up gods. So
yeah, you found religion on this pleasure planet.
What's this? This is great.
So Quinn, I think that as you walk up to the bar, you clear a group of people that were there. They look over at you, kind of disgusted, and one of them says something about like, "Oh, this used to be a nice place. Now they'll just let anyone in," and they kind of like move down the bar.
Quinn just sort of plops down on a seat and smacks his claw down and tries to get the bartender's attention.
And I lean into Quinn. I'm like, I think they were calling you fat.
Quinn stares forward and does not acknowledge this person he's forced to babysit.
So the bartender slides over on the railing and sees you and stops in front of you and doesn't. It just like he waits. He just like kind of looks down at you with his robotic visor face.
Quinn looks down and says, "Do you want anything to drink?" Aurora, sorry.
What should I have? I've never done this before. This is exciting.
Boy, give me 2 of your fruitiest drinks.
I want to compel Quinn.
Okay. All right. What's your compel?
Just for fun. I want to say that as Quinn is trying to figure out what he's going to drink, he's like gazing at this wall of all different types of alcohols. And there's one on the top shelf in one of the most beautiful jars he's ever seen. and I want to compel Quinn to spend all of our money to get that jar.
Done. Easy. Yeah. Quinn, as he looks over and he's trying to think up what a drink this young robo girl would love, he looks up and sees this beautiful, like, azure bottle that has some of the greatest, like, the top is a little twirl and it has like wings on the side of it, and the logo is written in some sort of Lorblithian calligraphy, and it is, and whatever's inside of it, it looks like liquid, but not. Like it's you can see there's definitely a line, like a demarcation line that's filled with something, but almost looks like something extraterrestrial and crazy. It's not. It's when you open this bottle, you sniff the alcohol. You don't drink it.
Yeah, and it's heavier than air, so you can pour it into a glass, and it goes to the bottom, and you just...
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Amazing. Okay, so you gaze up at it, and it glitters in the light. This Lorblithian vapor ale.
Vortex.
What do you just like, you're staring up at it with your lizard?
I point up to it and I say, "How much for that?"
The robot says, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid I can't help you."
Quinn dumps all of the credits out on the table and he's like, "Can you help me now?"
The bartender looks down, looks back up at you, and he says, "I'm sorry, sir. Establishment policy." And he reaches back and he just like taps a sign, and the sign says, "No lizard men."
Oh no!
Quinn, nope, you took me down a path. Quinn looks down at his coins and he says, I see. And he starts putting them in his pocket, all the credits back in his pocket.
That's when you see Aurora's hand reach out and grab at his hand. I'm like, but it's for me.
No, don't.
But it's for me.
Worry.
It's for. Listen, robot thing behind the bar. I don't know your name. I found God, and I would really like that. Just looks so good. Heaven. Have you heard of heaven? Heaven. Yeah, I just learned about that too, and that looks like it. I saw.
While she's talking to this robot, Quinn has put every coin back in his pockets and slowly made his way over the counter, and has just taken the bottle for himself.
Okay, so you can just climb up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just taking it.
So Aurora, is the plan here that you're doing this like stealthily? That Aurora is going to try to distract this guy while you?
Oh no, there is no. She's just. I think she just doesn't realize that she's just talking a bunch. Meanwhile, I've. Fine, if I'm not welcome here, F y'alls. I've climbed over the counter and I'm taking it myself.
All right, so you climb up on the bar, and the bartender is ignoring you now, Aurora, and turns to Quinn and is like, "Please, sir, step down. You cannot be back here."
I take one of the random bottles and bash it over his head.
Okay, all right. Let's see if you can disable the robot bartender. Let's have you roll forceful.
Sure.
Difficulty. What do you just wanted to like essentially knock him out, like just put him out of his
short circuit.
Put him out of your way.
I can.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say 3. Difficulty 3. He's not that tough.
Rex has his back to the bar and hears the ball smash and kind of like looks to his right and sees this happening about 10 foot up and he just goes, "Oh boy."
I would like to take the compel that I got and use that to buff the fact that as a hacker-jacker, I would know where to hit him.
Right. You've forcefully deactivated robots before.
Yeah, please. Okay. It's happened all the time.
So everyone else in the room that is within eyeshot of the bar sees this horrible lizard man climb up on the bar and just knock the bartender out and take this bottle down.
God, just like a lizard man to do this.
Exactly. God, this is why we can't let lizard men
polite company.
Into our casino.
And you wonder why people hate lizard men.
Yeah. And so that happens. You hit the bartender on the head, and he short circuits and like slumps over. He can't really fall because he's on this track, so he just like slumps over. And he's like, "No lizard," and like, falls over on the bar. His head clunk hits the top. And Thuja kind of like curls her lip and looks at you, Rex, and she's like, maybe your friends are more interesting than I thought. And she, you can see her reaching. Did you leave her with her weapon, her like snap batons thing?
Yeah,
or
she's got it.
Okay, you see her reaching for them.
Okay, Rex. You see like Rex's cheekbones rise, like as a grin's forming, but he just kind of like leans there, and you see him just like grab his drink and just like sips like the tumbler, and just kind of like holds it in his hand. He's literally just not reacting at all.
Okay, all right. So security is almost certainly on their way. Meanwhile, we cut to darkness. Right, we hear the sound of a trunk closing. We can hear footsteps crunching on gravel. Right, the Foley team is working overtime to give us an impression of movement. We hear a door hiss open and then shut. There's some muffled voices, and then there's just the sound of like. It's like the sound of someone blowing their nose at very high volume as Eugene is blasted out of the wet dry vac onto the floor of a room. So you're just splattered all over the floor. You're in an office. There's a big wall at the back that serves also as the glass wall of an aquarium. So you can see various strange like sea creatures swimming around in this huge glass curved wall on the back of the office. There's a big desk in the front middle, carved out of some kind of stone, and then there's a huge chair, and the back of the chair is turned to you. So whoever's in that chair is looking away from you. You've just been dumped unceremoniously onto a rug in the middle of the room. This big intricate rug, and behind you you can see, because I guess you can see all around you all the time because you don't really have sense organs. You can see that there are two of these like goons dressed in their sort of space zoot suits, holding their guns, and one of them has just dumped you on the floor.
Ugh, God, thanks for the warm welcome, guys.
So you hear a voice from the other side of the chair, and it's a familiar voice. You recognize it immediately. It's a deep, gravelly voice, and he says, "When my men spotted you on the beach, I was surprised. You got some nerve coming back here, slime."
It's funny. That's literally what they said before they put me in the shop vac. Is that like, do you guys all have a script? Or what is this?
The two of them kind of look at each other like kind of nervously. Like, oh God, you shouldn't use the boss's line. And the voice. It's Gloren. It's your former boss. Gloren says from the other side, he says, "Where's my ship, Eugene?"
Oh God, Gloren, is that you? Shit, you sound handsomer, so it was hard for me to tell.
So the chair swivels around as Gloren says, "Flattery will get you nowhere, Eugene." And the chair spins around, and it's this huge chair, like giant, like 10 feet tall and like huge and wide. And sitting on it, on a little pile of pillows, is this little like marsupial looking guy. He's maybe like 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, covered in pink fur. He spins around and he's like licking one of his paws. And he looks at you like, "I see you." And and he stares down at you over his little pink fluffy snout. And he says, "I asked where my ship was, Eugene." And one of the guards takes a step forward and like prods you with his gun. Like, "You better answer."
Look, man, I thought for sure you'd be able to find it. I mean, your name's Gloren, the ship's name is Gloren. I thought, like, it would be really easy for you to reconnect there. I just needed to borrow it for like a hot minute. I used it for... I only flew it like a day away. I thought you'd be fine with that.
He says, "So you didn't bring it back for me?" You're not here to make amends? To kiss my ring? And he holds out his little hand. And he's got this like big gold ring on it.
No, that's
he looks like a wombat. Exactly. He's a big pink
I
wombat.
desperately need a fan art
Just
of
a
this
little
entire
pink
scene.
wombat in a chair.
So much.
Wombat with his little twitchy nose. Yeah.
I'm imagining I'm imagining the mob boss in Zootopia. It's just like a little mouse, just like, hey.
On the day of my daughter's wedding.
So he's like, you didn't bring me my ship back? You haven't come to apologize?
No, that was not why. You realize that was a very long time ago, right? Like,
yeah,
bygones. Can we?
His little nose twitches, and he says, "Oh, I've counted the days since you left with my ship, Eugene. I've been practicing." And he like looks, and you see one of the walls slide open, and you see now to us it would look like it'd be very out of context, but I will assure you that the things that you see here would strike horror into the heart of any slime. We pan across a shelf, and on it we see first what looks like a Jello mold. There's little bits of like cantaloupe and fruit like in it, and it's like jiggling. And then we see what looks like a food dehydrator filled with little like green like chips. We can see there's a pile of like greenish powder. And and it just looks like a torture chamber for slimes, right? Like all of the different ways that you could be tormented. And he nods and he's like, yes, you see now. I've been waiting for you to come back, Eugene.
Yeah, there's definitely when the wall opens, my bravado falters. Like,
right.
Oh, you've been thinking about this, huh? Well, I'm definitely going to use one of my stunts.
Yeah, you want to try and talk your way out of this?
Yeah. Thanks my loud mouth once per session, I can talk my way out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna I look at the wall.
Before you do this, this is so good. Someone in chat suggested this. One of the goons is threatening you with like a salt shaker. You turn around, he's just got it. Like, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
little grains of salt fall next to you, and you're like,
get out of here. Yeah, I look, and when I look back at him, it's a softer expression, as much as a slime can have an expression, I go, look, all right, when I was working for you, I was trying to make something of myself, and like you and I think we connected at the time, because like both of us, we're both the kind of people that no one takes seriously. And look at you now, look at you with all of this, with these guys, huh? You're big man now. But I wasn't a big man yet. I needed to get out. I needed to go, and I needed to make something of myself. And I'm still on that journey, and I'm sorry, but I can't let you end my journey here. I can't be in a, what is that? Ugh. Not like this. You gotta, what can I do to make this right? What can I do to let you, let me live out the rest of my life in decency?
He looks at you and he says, you can see him thinking. He's like stroking his little pink face. He's like, I did always respect your ambition, Eugene. You made a mistake crossing me, but I'm going to take this as an apology.
Yes, I am very sorry, sir.
There may be room for you here in my organization. I could use scum like you. How about this? And he's about to say something, and then someone comes in, the door opens, and you see another one of his goons, and they're like, boss! And he looks up and he's like, what did I tell you about interrupting me? And he's like, I'm sorry, boss, but it's urgent. It's the casino. And he presses a button on his desk, and we see a big screen light up in front of him. You can see it too, but it's mirrored because you're standing on the other side. And yeah, you see Quinn standing on a bar, and he's just smashed a robot on the head. We cut back to that scene, as some of these goons are emerging from a back room with weapons, and they're approaching Quinn, Rex, Thuja, and Aurora. What are you doing?
I'm still trying to get the bottle.
You got it. Yeah, it's in your hand. You're just standing at the bar.
Yeah, as I see them emerge, I jump down and rip the "No Lizardmen Served Here" sign off the wall and just chuck it at them as they come out through the door.
All right. Okay. Well, let's. This will. It sounds like it's going to be a fight, so let's make it a fight.
Yay!
All right. So Eugene, you're a non-participant in this particular battle, but Thuja will give everybody a hand. The Lady Mayhem.
I somehow, well, unless it's been completely deactivated, I somehow try to hack into the bartender.
He's busted. He is unconscious. But there's lots of other crap around here for you to mess with. Don't worry.
You're gonna mess with so much crap.
All right.
So much.
The goons, they'll go on a 1. I'm gonna fix Thuja because that's not her name. And Rex, Quinn, and Aurora in the initiative order. That's your quickness, right?
Damn you for that. Goons, hired goons. Simpsons references. Nice.
Okay. So that looks right though. Everybody, you got your right stats in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thuja goes first, and as soon as she realizes that the fight is breaking out, she does 2 things. She takes out her weapons as she stands up. She snaps her batons out. I guess she only has 1. She snaps 1 out, and she leans over to you, Rex, and grabs you by the back of the head, gives you a big hard smooch, and then runs off to go and fight the nearest batch of goons. So she jogs out across towards them, shouting, "Come and get some." What are you gonna do, Rex?
Rex.
There are 3 groups. Let's say 3 groups of 3 goons apiece.
Rex is gonna finish his drink.
Okay, perfect.
She smacks him on the lips and runs off to fight some ruffians, and he just kind of he's still laying on the bar. He just kind of sips his drink leisurely, just watching this unfold for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
He's thoroughly entertained, but he doesn't want to get involved just yet.
Perfect. Okay, Aurora, what would you like to do?
Or Quinn.
Yeah, or Quinn. Either of you can go.
I want to see what you do first.
Okay. I only have 3.
Aurora immediately picks up that these people that are coming in are not very happy with Quinn, and she doesn't fully understand why they don't like him. She's assuming maybe they knew each other or something, but she stops talking finally, and see Sparky's already in battle doge mode because he decided to do that after he hooked up with the spaceship, the warship.
Yep.
So he immediately gets aggressive as well, turns around and starts growling. They don't have anything to shoot us with, do they?
They have stun batons.
Okay. Well, then you see his tail wag, and I'm gonna say that I want to roll for him to create an advantage. He considers this like whenever you play fetch, their stun batons, they're waving it around, and he thinks that they're just playing fetch with him.
Oh, yeah, right. So he thinks the weapons are sticks for him to go and catch. Yeah, of course.
Because he knows they're aggressive, but he also is happy because he's like, oh, we're going to play fetch.
Yeah, okay. So you're gonna try to make a new aspect called play fetch, and if you fail, well, we'll see how that goes. Go ahead and roll. Let's say this shouldn't be too hard. Let's say difficulty 3, and it's clever. It's clever for sure. Nice. Cool. So that means you get the aspect, and you get 1 or 2 free invokes because you beat it by
2.
How many? You beat it by 2.
5.
Yeah, you beat it by 2. Okay, let me double check. Create an advantage. Create an advantage on creating an aspect. Okay, succeed with style. Yeah, 2 free invocations. Perfect. All right. There you go.
There we go. So, all right. Stop trying to make that. That was.
right, Quinn, what are you gonna do? They're goons. They're goons on the way.
Quinn safely wraps the bottle in a bar towel, stuffs it down his pants.
Okay.
And then proceeds to just start chucking bottles of alcohol at the guards or the goons that are running at him, trying to like headshot them with bottles of booze.
Just whipping bottles at him.
Just like from behind the counters, like whoosh, whoosh. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Go ahead and make an attack. This sounds to me like quick, probably. Okay. It's not super forceful, but yeah, it sounds like a quick attack.
All right.
Throwing bottles. Okay, and I will defend for these hired goons.
Get wrecked, goons. No one even likes you.
All right, we're tied. If you leave it at a tie, you can create an advantage. You get a boost that you'll get to use once, or you can spend. You've only got 1 point, so you can spend it or keep it. It's up to you.
What does a tie do?
A tie gives you a boost, like raining bottles, that you get a free invoke on, just you on your next roll or any.
Okay, but I don't like succeed in anything.
Yeah, you don't succeed. Yeah.
I want to. Yeah, I'll take a thing that I can invoke, and I just want it to be like I don't know, behind the bar or something, so I can have a cover of the fact that I'm behind the bar, so they can't like shoot me in the wiener or whatever. I don't know. They can't just like I can duck out of the way because I have cover. Is what I'm saying.
All right. So we'll call it. I'll put it over by you. We'll call it tending bar. You have you have one free use of it. Okay. So the goons, I think at this point, Thuja and one set of goons are tangling. And then Aurora, you haven't really presented yourself as a threat yet. So Quinn, the other 6 goons, the two groups of goons, they start like rushing to you, jumping over the bar, trying to grab you and beat you up. So first we'll do Thuja. So they attack her, and she needs to defend against a 1. Should be easy for her. She's fighting forcefully, and I think she's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, she's totally fine. So you see her, Rex. I think we see her past you. 3 of them run towards her, and she's just like blocking them and hitting people in the kneecaps. And there's a big brawl going over there. And you can see her. She's in her element. And perhaps there's a moment here where you see her. Not you fighting her. You've seen her fight before, and she is a creature of beauty when it comes to violence. She's taken these guys apart, and they just can't touch her. And then Quinn, as this group rushes you, these guys kind of like run around the bar trying to grab you and everything. I think that let me roll, and then we'll see how the soundtrack changes. So the first group comes rushing in. And how do you defend yourself? Let's call these are the ones that run in and like they like the first group kind of leaps over the bar, and 2 of them try to grab you, and the other one's going to try to punch you in the face. They only get a 1. How do you defend yourself?
Oh, I'm no master of quickness. Forcefully, I probably reach over to grab another bottle, and there's just none left on the shelf. So I'm like, oh, here we go, and I just would block with my hands and try to lessen the blow rather than be like, I dodged you.
Yeah, totally. Okay, make a force roll. Okay, all right. So the first group, you're just like grabbing them, slamming them into each other, acting like a big berserk lizard man. You're fighting like people expect you to. The second group, these ones come rushing because it's gonna take 6 of them to take you down. Same thing. You're looking at defending against a 1 for this group.
Okay.
Same deal. It's like all 6 of them are piling on you, and you just kind of throw them aside forcefully, or
can I do a flashy? I guess it's kind of an attack. Maybe I'll ask you. I want to take one of the guys attacking me and sort of move his body in front of their attack so they punch him like in the back. Mm-hmm. Can I do that?
Yeah, I mean, you can describe your defense however you want. Like, if a guy gets punched, it doesn't have to be an attack. But yeah, okay, so you just start grabbing them and making them each other's targets.
Yeah. Okay. I start flinging them around in front of each other. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll your flashy.
Oh no!
A 0. All right.
I grab a man and they both punch me. I'm like, ow!
Yeah, so this
fucking
is
do that.
You grab the guy and then you just get like cold cocked from the side. I'm actually going to spend one of my points to make it a 3. They only have one aspect, so I can only do one. So you have to deal with three points of injury. How do you want to take
in
that?
Distress.
Yeah, take your stress box. Okay, so here's what happens, and this is great. We'll go to commercial right after this. So you go to grab the guy. I think you slip slightly. You don't get to grab him. One guy punches you in the face. Another guy hits you in the stomach. You buckle over. Another guy like breaks a chair over your head. And then you lift up. We see you lift up your combat frill kind of popping open, and as we see the like rage in your eyes come to a boil, La Bamba begins to play.
Oh man!
Soundtrack, and right before you throw into a rage, we'll go to break. We'll take our break there. So stick around. We'll have the rest of this fight when we return. More Nebula Jazz in just a little bit. See you then.
Yeah.
La, 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 bamba.